Greetings, everyone. It is the Tonic Man, Anthony Carl Urach. They call me the Tonic Man because I have been drinking this wonderful, miraculous, extraordinary, remarkable tonic for, wow, a long time. Over 70 years. And it is called the Youth Solution because it will indeed keep you young, make you younger. And that's because it has the capacity to regenerate your body. This is not a cure for anything. But we're going to be talking with Dr. Scott Whitaker. He is our guest of honor tonight, and I will bring him on in a moment. Dr. Whitaker is well known for his practice as a naturopathic doctor, but he also wrote this extraordinary book called Medicine, and that is not spelled D-I-N-E, it is spelled S-I-N. And he wrote this book many years ago. I'll let him tell you when he first published it, but we met him back in the early 2000s. Someone met him and talked to him about the JC Tonic. He had a look at it, and I guess he thought it was something pretty special because he wrote one page in his book, Medicine, about the tonic. So I think that says a lot about this tonic, and it has been ever since in his book, and of course everybody who reads it then would like to try the tonic. So we have now been talking about this tonic and about doing it and about helping people for all these years. I don't know too many products on the market that have been around this long and doing this much good. So for all you folks on the call that maybe are newer, I could get into this long story, but it's all available on our SoundCloud. If you go to SoundCloud, you can hear a lot of the stories about the history and so on. I just wanted to mention a few words to give you a bit of an overview how we met Dr. Whitaker and what he has done. And I want him to talk about his book, Medicine, and talk about, of course, JC Tonic and what he thinks about it. And I know that after this call is over, you will be able to share this with many people, family and friends, and they will love to hear what he has to say. So, as I always say, without further ado, Dr. Whitaker, please come on in and say hello.
I'm here, Anthony. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Thank you very much, Dr. Whitaker. Everybody is waiting for you, and take it away.
All right. Thank you, Anthony, for inviting me to the Sunday show. And I want to send my condolences to Betty for the loss of her brother. And it's been a while since we actually talked to the JC Tonic family. And those who may be new to the call, welcome. I believe last time we spoke, we were just getting into the beginnings of the pandemic, scamdemic. So it's been over 2 years now. And everything that we spoke about that night, everything that I, told JC Tonic family, basically it's what happened. I said that they would scare the people, bring out all types of fake statistics, but the bottom line was that they wanted you to be vaccinated. And I pray that no one from the Tonic family fell for it, and hopefully that you didn't lose any loved ones to this bioweapon that they released on the world. Before we get into speaking about the JC Tonic, I always have to talk about how the medical establishment is still doing what they do best, and that is promote drugs, promote therapies that don't work, and they don't offer any solutions except wash your hands, stand 20 feet away, wear a diaper on your face, and stay indoors. That's their solution to solving problems. Okay. And the tonic, being that it's a whole body tonic formula, you have a creation of a powerful formula there. There are 18 herbs in there, and the 18 herbs, when they're absorbed into the bloodstream, they do what they do. We have limited knowledge on what herbs do in their totality. We have some knowledge that they go to certain organs, certain glands, apply the nutrients for those areas, but it's probably way more than that. And we probably won't even know or be able to even scientifically show what else that they do inside the body. But when we have from scientific documentation, what we have from historical herbal medicine going all the way back to Africa, Europe, Asia, and our own native comrades who were very, very knowledgeable in the herbal kingdom here in the lands of North America. And so they wrote down certain things when they took these herbs and what it did to their body. So what I want to do tonight, out of the 18, I probably won't go in depth into all 18. I'll probably take about half of that, go in depth, and then the other ones I'll just talk about how they affect. So I first was introduced again to the JC Tonic. I was somewhere in the Midwest. The lady came to me and she said, well, I want to introduce you to this herbal product. And I had already read about it. Hadn't tasted it yet, but I had read about it. I don't know where the literature, I read everything and I get my hands on. And so when I saw the name, I said, I know about this. And I tried it and used it, saw the benefits it had to my body. I like to see how it works on me before I tell other people about it. So, and herbs that stood out to me, ones that I very common that I use a lot. The first one was the herb thyme, or they say thyme, Thyme, thyme leaf. Okay. Now thyme is in the mint family. Okay. And it's a very powerful herb. I use it as a expirant. It's a bronchodilator. It's a decongestant. You can also put thyme in your window as a plant growing to keep insects out of your house, like flies and stuff won't come in. When it's thyme growing like a plant in your window, they won't come in. Thyme also spurs intelligence, concentration, improves eyesight, migraine headache, ear ringing, vertigo. Let's see, relieves toothache. Thyme is to the throat and the windpipe and the bronchial tube what like peppermint is to the stomach and the intestines. It calms it down. It cools, makes it very cool. If you have a lot of inflammation in the body, in those areas of the throat, windpipe, and bronchial tube, the thyme will come and cool that down, and bring relief to you. It rids staph, tonsillitis, leprosy, the so-called old disease, eczema, psoriasis. It speeds up delivery in terms of women who may be going through pregnancy. And the oil, also, thyme oil, is used to break alcoholism. Now look at that. Alcoholism. Something that is proliferated in the last 2 years during this pandemic. Alcoholism has went up over 10,000% in America. It's very dangerous now almost to drive. God knows flying is super dangerous now, especially with the pilots who have been injected with the bioweapon, having heart attacks in the air. And there's already been many throughout the world. Emergency landings have happened. So thyme is very, very powerful. I'm glad that that's one of the herbs in the JC Tonic. And like I said, when I started, it has many, many uses that we could probably just take one of the herbs and it would be like a 6 to 8 hour course. The next one that stood out to me when I was first introduced to it was saw palmetto. Now, saw palmetto is actually a berry. Okay. It grows in the Carolinas all the way to Florida. The herbs have different areas that they grow in. And for that region of the country, that environment is good with saw palmetto berries. It regulates the hormones. For women who just having babies and maybe low in milk, improves lactation. Okay? For the men, saw palmetto was definitely useful for the prostate. It reduces inflammation. A lot of men have prostate issues, swelling, urinating at night 4 or 5 times a day and all night and all that kind of stuff. You want to use saw palmetto. It also helps with people who can't gain weight. It helps kidneys, diabetes. Also helps with alcoholism. Look at that. 2 herbs so far in the formula that helps with alcoholism, which is destroying America. Okay? It is the number 1 drug in America. They don't talk about it that much, but it destroys a lot of lives. Okay? That's saw palmetto. Another herb that's really something I like a lot because they make the beverage called root beer from it, and that's sarsaparilla. Now, sarsaparilla is very, very potent. It's from the lily family, and it stimulates your immunity, stimulates your immune system. It purifies your system from infections, fever, venereal diseases. It has a direct effect on leukemia and breast cancer. It neutralizes microbial blood toxins, and it has a purifying effect on the blood and the circulatory system. Also good for congestive heart failure. Now, I use a lot of sarsaparilla as a single herb, as a tea. I like to drink it at night just because I like the taste of it. But the fact that it's in this formula just makes it all that better. How it intertwines with the rest of the herbs in the formula. Key to health is really about your glands, your glandular system. And all the herbs in the JC Tonic have their effect on each particular gland in the body. And when your glands are healthy, you're healthy. Okay? So always remember that about glandular health. And that's sarsaparilla. Very, very powerful herb. Another herb that's in the tonic is called malva leaf. And this herb here is almost related to the marshmallow family, which is another herb that's in the tonic. But this one also has a great effect on cancers of the stomach and the uterus. Okay, that's what malva does. It softens tumor areas, because you know what a tumor does. A tumor takes off in the body, and of course the white coats, the medical establishment, they want to go in and slice that tumor open, cut it open, and all that kind of nonsense. And what a tumor really does, actually, is it tells the body, hey, I see something that's toxic, and I need to encapsulate it. I need to cover it up so that it's not allowed to travel throughout the body. And so when they go and do their so-called biopsies, you open it up. And when you open it up, now whatever was in there is allowed to release into the system, particularly into the bloodstream. So I always advise not do biopsy. Okay. So the malva, what it does, it takes that same tumor, it just softens it up so that the immune system can now deal with it and break it down naturally. And then the dead tissues and stuff like that come out in your sweat and your elimination. And so the herbs know what they're doing. The body knows what it's doing. It's just that the MD, which means misdirected, sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Okay. So that's malva. Now, two herbs that I really like in here, one called hops and the other one called horehound, Horehound. Now, hops, many people probably know that they take that and make the alcoholic beverage called beer, okay? But hops, if you really look at it, beer, if you had a non-alcoholic beer, that's actually an herbal beverage. We would have a lot of benefits. Matter of fact, when I was traveling overseas to a lot of the countries where alcohol is not served or not allowed in the country, they had non-alcoholic beer in their stores. I never drank beer, so I was always curious what it did taste like. So I tried one of the non-alcoholic ones. I didn't care for it because it was a little bitter and the taste just didn't fit my palate. But for those who like it, hey, there it is. But hops is from the cannabis family, so it's real close to hemp. Okay, and it's very relaxing. It's a nerve relaxer, very good. If you can find the oil of hop, put that on your pillow. That's almost a cure for insomnia. It's great for whooping cough, tuberculosis, leprosy, cancerous sores, ulcers of the face, breast and stomach, ringworm, and also it helps flush your kidneys, which is very, very important, and helps with kidney stones and gallstones. Okay, so hops is very, very powerful. The fact that it's in the formula, the JC Tonic, you're getting all those benefits too as it goes through your system. And so that's hops. Now, horehound is probably one of the best herbs to eliminate cough. It has a powerful effect on the respiratory system. Okay. It's also in the mint family. Functions that it has is that it expels thick mucus, coughs, laryngitis, sore throats. Let's see, bronchitis. I remember being used by one of my clients using it for bronchitis. Got rid of it in about 3 days. Uterine fibroids, eczema, shingles, itches, scabies, and worms. So horehound is potent. I've always, back in the day, I remember this health food store I went to in Wisconsin, they had horehound candy for the cough drop. And I bought like a big bag of it just to keep it so I can have it at home when those times arise. And I tell you, I have a little cough and I would need no more than one or two of the little horehound candies and cough was gone. I mean, powerful. So the fact that you're getting that in your tonic on a daily basis, keeping your immune system and your respiratory system strong, especially nowadays with all these chemtrails they're spraying on us and bioweapons being released in the air, horehound is something that's right on time. Just another powerful herb that's in the JC Tonic that we all will benefit from. Okay. Now, one herb that I actually used during a lot of my clients who were giving birth, Angelica. Okay, this herb Angelica deals a lot with the female system. Not that it's only for females, but it has a great effect on the reproductive system. Blood cleanser. It heals ulcers. Okay, it improves your red blood cell count. It has anti-cancer properties. Heals cirrhosis of the liver, ulcers, and it's for all gynecological problems. Okay, Angelica. So for the women that are online listening, this is something that you're getting because it's helping your whole reproduction system. All those may be going through menopause and things like that. Angelica is there to help you. Okay. Now, the last herb I'm going to go into in depth is one I'm very fond of called alfalfa. And alfalfa is actually an Arabic word and it means the father of foods. And alfalfa, its roots go almost between 10 to 30 feet into the ground. Okay. That's how deep the roots go. And so when you got roots going that deep, it's picking up all kinds of nutrients and minerals from the soil. Okay. Like I said, there's stuff we still don't even know about with the herbs in terms of their nutritional capacity. And alfalfa has been used, all over the globe, but particularly China and over in Northeast Africa. And they consider that to be the father of the foods. I mean, it's so high in nutrients. I use that as part of one of my formulas for arthritis because it's so high in minerals and it's so alkalizing to the system. And it removes all that uric acid from your joints. Okay. It has a regeneration effect on human tissues. Okay. Regeneration effect on human tissues. It means you can regrow new tissues. Just like you can regrow the liver, you can regrow new tissues. Okay. So alfalfa, I'm very fond of. It's just such a powerful food. I mean, jaundice toxifies the liver, diabetes. It cleanses and deacidifies the kidneys. It rids the body of excess water. For those of you who may be having edema issues or you carrying water, alfalfa removes that. Okay. And so the fact that, this herb, being that it's the top one, you could say although it has more minerals because it goes so far into the ground, but it's in this formula. So, I mean, the JC Tonic is a complete package. And, the rest of the herbs that I mentioned and go in depth in, like peppermint leaf. I mean, I drink peppermint every night before I go to bed. Okay. That's just one of my favorite herbs. I like how it feels on my stomach. It helps with digestion. And that's just, I don't know. I guess I've developed a habit with it. It's been almost 20 years now. I have to have a cup before I go to sleep. So, peppermint, the licorice root. Now, I happen to live in Korea and I went to China, and licorice is one of the top herbs in Chinese medicine. They use that just about in every formula they have. The Chinese use licorice. Okay. It's so powerful. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps people with blood sugar issues, autoimmune issues. It's got so many properties. Also the marshmallow for the colon, who has inflamed colon, people who have irritable bowel syndrome and colitis and things like that. Marshmallow comes and removes all that inflammation. The marshmallow is powerful root. Okay. Passion flower help you relax, repairs the nervous system. The celery seed. Now, most of my clients who have high blood pressure or edema, I always tell them to get the tonic and get an additional celery seed, and it immediately removes all the excess water from the system. Okay, so all the edema is gone, blood pressure goes down, and you got that right here in the tonic, celery seed. Okay. This is like Ante said in his introduction, there is not too many formulas I can think of with the longevity of JC Tonic in terms of how long it's been in usage. And so, this formula is by itself. That's why I put it in my book, Medicine, that of course you can use it every day. Children can use it. Your high-powered athletes can use it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm using it right now. I just had a visitor come to my home yesterday, my cousin from California, and she has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And she didn't want to listen to me. And she did all the chemo and radiation and all that poison. And of course they told her, it's over. Go get your affairs together. We can't do nothing else for you after we burned your body, lost all your hair and all that stuff. You know what happened. And so she's out here with me now. And we start tomorrow. Got her on an extensive program of cleansing and rebuilding. But the JC Tonic is the first thing she's taking in the morning. Okay. So JC Tonic will be used in her recovery from stage 4. And that's the goal. That's the intent. I'm hoping that the damage is not too far gone. How they give you so much poison that it kills the liver. The liver can't rejuvenate. So hopefully that's not the case. And get in there, get the JC Tonic rolling in her system. And I'm giving it right now. We're going to start first 3 months. So I got 90 days. Maybe we can do another podcast in about 3 months. I can give you an update on positives and negatives. Hopefully there'll be no negatives. That's why I'm in on that. Let's see here. I know that the people have been affected by the last 2 years, either through their stress from their jobs, trying to force them, children not in school, and little babies and stuff not recognizing, probably don't even recognize their parents anymore, wearing those diapers on their face. And so there's been a lot of mental issues. And so the tonic helps with that too, quassia bark, and of course passion flower and the chamomile will all help with the mental issues, help you balance the effects of the emotional toxins that we were getting daily from the corporate controlled news, bringing on their false information and fake statistics. So I don't know, Anthony, is there like a question and answer type of situation here, or do we want me to just keep going?
We can do both, Scott. So far, so good. I just wanted to mention to everyone, you all know what Dr. Whitaker is talking about because we have told you for all these 80 years that it's the combination of all these herbs that manages to look after all your systems and all your glands. And I'm so happy he broke it down herb by herb because you can really imagine when you put all of these herbs together and they're doing all of what these herbs are capable of doing, that is the result of why the ones that have been drinking this for some time are all in much better health. You know, Scott, when you mentioned about the pandemic, we started by suggesting to everyone, double up your dose and see if it can't protect you somewhat more than maybe other people. And I don't know if I've even spoken to anybody who's drinking JC Tonic who had any difficulties, or if they had anything, it was very, very slight and light. And I think it's just because, indeed, their bodies and their immune systems have just bucked up to meet the challenge. And I think, folks, what Dr. Whitaker has just outlined here, I think, as they say, the proof is in the pudding. It just shows you that's exactly what has been happening in your bodies, and those of you drinking the tonic have just fared a lot better, or much, much better than everyone else out there. So if you want to handle some Q&A, we can do that, Dr. Whitaker. It would be great. If you folks want to do a Q&A, you can star 6, but don't all talk at once. Whoever comes on first, and then we'll wait our turn, take the Q&A, and then on to the next person. If you have some questions, that would be great.
I just have one question about your book. If you'd like to say something about your book, Dr. Whitaker. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, well, my book, Medicine, Medicin, was a culmination of about, let's say, 12 years of research. And it was about 800 pages when I finished, and I chopped it down to 4. So that's where book 2 is coming from, the other 400 plus more. But yeah, my book came about because the medical establishment had murdered someone very dear to me. And since I couldn't go to that hospital like John Q, I saw the movie John Q. So I took it as a whole world concept and said, you know, I'm going to expose this establishment, you know, by the pen. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. So been out since 2005. I've never done any advertising for it. I don't even really promote it, but it's been all over the world. Matter of fact, I have an invitation next year to speak in Amsterdam for my book. And it's basically the things I wrote about in 2005 are now right in our face. I spoke about the pandemic in my book. I said this would happen. Their whole goal has been to mass vaccinate the entire world.
I just wanted to say thank you very much, Dr. Whitaker. I really appreciate what you said. And for the hundreds of millions of people that are more awake now, I think that your book would be, you know, something that they want to know about. So I'm willing to talk about it and share about it.
I appreciate that.
I get it, you know, so I'll get a copy and I'll put word out. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know who that was, Dr. Whitaker, but maybe he is someone who has a big reach and can get word out to a lot of people about the book, and that would be just great.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Hi, this is Marilyn. I wanted to know, there's a couple of questions. First one is about your book, Medicine. Does it have any spiritual significance because of the SIN on the end? And also, how can we get your book or get in touch with you?
Okay. Spiritual meaning that what they have done to humanity is a sin against humanity based on all revealed scripture. You know, the word pharmakia is in the book of Revelation, and they call it sorcery. When you look at the Greek writing, it's pharmakia, but in the English it says sorcery. So pharmaceutical medicine is sorcery. And then in one of the chapters I have, why aren't the religious faithful disease free? If we call ourselves spiritual and following the Creator, and why aren't we following the Creator's laws? Why are we not disease free? So it has some spiritual significance in that regard. The challenge is you to refer to the Creator's laws, which of course is using his herbs. So by using the tonic, you are using the Creator's medicine. You can get in touch with me. My email, drwhitaker@hotmail.com. That's dr.whitaker@hotmail.com.
And to get the book, Dr. Whitaker has given URAC Worldwide an extra special price. You can get it online, Marilyn. It's $12. I think it's $20 at the booksellers, or you can buy it directly from Dr. Whitaker if you're going to contact him.
Okay, thank you very much for answering my question.
Thank you.
I guess you'll be talking about that in your new book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm even going to go even deeper and blow the lid off it even more.
So when is the new book due, Doc?
Hard to say.
New stuff to write about every day, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Like every time you say, okay, I'm about ready to wrap it up. And then they come with some new nonsense, so I have to get another chapter. So
I think that's something like my father when he first started thinking about this in 1922. It was to maybe oxygenate. And then he discovered that it was doing something else. And then he tried a different herb and mixed with another one, and it did something else. And it just kept going and going for 20 years. Mind you, he wasn't working full time on it, but every time he touched something else, something changed, and he made it a little better and so on. And in the end, it took 20 years to put the thing together.
wow.
Imagine the fortitude he had. I mean, he still had to work and make a living and all the rest of it. And he did this in his spare time. And in the 20s and 30s, let me tell you, it wasn't easy to find the herbs. I talked to him later in life about that, and he said, holy cow, he said, I would write somewhere and I wouldn't hear for 3 months and didn't know if they got my letter. And then finally a little letter comes in the mail to me. Yes, we do have some of that herb. I mean, it wasn't like today.
That's amazing.
Really,
I'd like to sit down one day and talk to you about that whole process and preparation, how he did it. How did he, man, that's amazing.
I think in the end, a lot of it was trial and error.
Oh, yeah. Majority of the formulations have always been a trial and error type situation.
And then a little bit of miraculous stuff.
Yeah. And then the wisdom.
You mentioned about what the creator and herbs and all that. In the 40s, we were in Quebec City, and it was French Canada, and quite religious. And my father had originally picked out of the Bible wherever it talked about the plants and how they're there to keep you well and so on. And he used to actually write those parts in his little pamphlets that he used to make. It was really, really something. And people, of course, would realize that it goes much deeper than just another product. It really probably does have something to do with a higher being, you know.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Well, Scott, I think that you covered some of the really great parts that have not been covered. And those analysis of those herbs gives folks an awful lot of knowledge now on why it actually does work and works on everyone for everything, because of all that those various herbs do, which touches every part of the body. And sad to hear the story of your family member coming to live with you for that purpose, but we wish you all the blessings to hope it works. A lot of things in your tool chest that you're going to try, and we've had some great success with cases like that with JC Tonic that have kept people alive for maybe an extra 5 or 6 or more years.
Hello, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, this is Dr. Eunice Brown. I'd like to ask Dr. Whitaker, does he know what diseases most people would be susceptible to? And does the tonic can detoxify, give it to individuals as a detoxifier?
Dr. Whitaker, Dr. Brown is a naturopathic doctor as well, so just let you know that.
Dr. Brown? Well, right off the bat, myocarditis is the first one that's affecting everyone. So with the tonic and also taking NAC and zinc and quercetin, you have in the tonic, of course, dandelion root, the horsetail, which is high in silica, and of course the licorice, which stops autoimmune issues. So those would help. And so myocarditis, cancer is going to proliferate. It will be the number one killer here in the next 5 years. And then you have, of course, the neurological damage to the spinal system. So the tonic will help. Add NAC, add your zinc.
Okay.
They're going to keep coming with a booster this and boost that, and they're going to keep trying to boost you. The only thing that's boosting is the pharmaceuticals pocket.
Okay, very good.
This is Ruthie. I have a comment.
Yes, Ruthie.
I met you, I think it was in 2005, and I tell everyone, please buy this book. I bought 5 of them because I wanted to share them with some of my ambassadors. And it's really a good book, and I'm waiting on the next one.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I definitely take the tonic every day, and my doctor says I am the healthiest patient she has.
Well, Ruthie, it's a good thing you're on the tonic. If you met him in 2005 and have his first book, it's now a whole pile of years later, and we don't have the second book yet, so keep drinking the tonic.
Don't worry.
That's
I
right.
am.
You're probably going to outlive your doctor.
Well, that's what she said. I got sick when I looked at all those folders on the wall. When she said I was the healthiest patient she had, I showed her what I was taking. She said, keep taking.
But she won't take it herself, though.
She said she was going to try, but you know doctor's not going to take it.
Yeah.
But I'm good, looking good. Oh, I'm good. But I'm waiting on your second one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Just in case you don't know, Dr. Whitaker, Ruthie's, how old are you, Ruthie?
I'm not telling you. My doctor said I am 60 years young, Dr. Whitaker.
I know. I remember you.
Yes, I bet you do. Yes, sir. I'll let you look on my website, Dr. Whitaker, and then you can tell my age. But right now, I'm trying to find Mr. Right because I'm a Whitaker, so I have to keep my age to myself. I let my looks.
I got you.
All right, I let my looks do the work, okay?
Yes, ma'am. No doubt, no doubt.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Walker. I'm in Central Florida, and I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I've enjoyed the share that you have given tonight. I've been on the tonic now for 2 years, and I am a breast cancer, I can't say survivor, I'm a breast cancer overcomer. I give a lot of the credit to Almighty God for giving me the wisdom to search out alternative methods of being able to be healthy. And I found out that my lymphatic system would affect my immune system. And so, you know, even the virus or pandemic that came through, I was already working on building my immune system. So I was totally unaffected by the pandemic. So I'm thankful for that. The question that I have is, I am morbidly obese, according to my doctor. I'm working on losing weight, but I wanted to know about the dosage that you take of the tonic. I take the prescribed amount, and I was wondering if for my weight, do I need to take more?
Carol, if I can just jump in here before Dr. Whitaker, we have a really great picture, a photo, a before and after of a fellow that when he called several years ago, he said he has 100 pounds to lose. So I don't know if morbid means more than 100 pounds, but let's start with the 100 pounds. And he drank 4 ounces a day for 8 months. And his before picture, he's got a very, very large belly. And he's got his shirt on, but his after picture he sent us with a t-shirt on, and he's holding it up, and his chest and abdomen are flat as a board, and there's not even any hanging skin. So that may be something that you would have to do, is to really increase the dosage so that it starts doing things a lot faster. And Dr. Whitaker?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to tell her to increase it to 3, but 4 sounds like, depending on, you know, I don't know what the weight is, but
3 may do it as well, sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you can handle the 3 a day, then do that. And then, of course, since you're in Florida, you got pretty much good weather during the winter. You can make sure you get your walking in and your exercise. That'll speed it up too. Then just leave those carbs alone. Right in the bread.
For sure. Yeah, I have been losing weight by changing my eating habits. I'm very blessed to have someone in my life to coach me in that regard. So, but I want to just know how the tonic dosage would be affected. So thank you so much for your response.
No problem. And keep up that work.
For sure. Thank you. I want to live.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else like to have a word? Please just jump in.
Just want to thank you, Dr. Whitaker. Nice to hear your voice again.
Who's that?
Lenny Atencio.
Hey, Lenny. Are you still in Colorado?
Still in Colorado.
Oh, man. Gotta get out there one day again.
Well, you won't recognize him anymore, Dr. Whitaker. He looks 25 years young.
Yeah, I haven't aged. I don't know what's going on, but I know it's got to be the tonic.
Okay.
Yep. Can anybody hear me?
Sure, we can hear you.
Well, everybody, I have upped my dose on the tonic. I'm taking approximately 1.5 to 2 with my diabetes. I've had diabetes for 61 years and 70 some thousand shots. I'm 74 and Lenny knows me well. I am doing exceptionally well. I work every day. I get plenty of exercise, and with my health, I'm just doing exceptional. I just feel great, and I'm never going to stop with the tonic. I was up to 206 pounds a couple years ago, and I'm maintaining from 170 to 174 all the time now.
Well, that is also remarkable, excellent. Bill. Holy smokes, that's great.
Yep. I give the tonic a lot of credit, and of course, Peg and I eat right. I eat a couple times a day. I use the intermittent method, quite a bit of meat, stay away from the carbs, just do really good. And I never thought with my diabetes I could do that, and I just feel great.
Were you able to change the medication at all, Bill?
Oh, I'm taking way less. A lot of people take a lot of insulin and stuff, but I have to take every time I eat or stuff. But at night, I take a 24-hour stuff, and I take 14 units of that, which is way less than a lot of people, and the night stuff. And then I take 1 to 3. Sometimes if my sugar's high, I'll take 4 units if it's really high. But basically, I take very little of the fast-acting stuff, too. So I'm doing pretty darn good.
The doctor see the difference, and does he know you're taking, or has he told you to take less of the medication?
No, I just do it all on my own, but my doctor says I'm the best diabetic she's got.
Oh, that's wow.
It's just hard with type 1 diabetes to balance the food and the insulin, but I up my insulin just a little bit according to what I was taking, and my A1C was 8 or less, and I'm trying to get it down to less than that. But some of these diabetics, their A1C must be off the charts from what she says, as far as being high sugar levels.
Well, Dr. Whitaker, I'm sure you know plenty about that.
Like I said, especially with the alfalfa and the soft palmetto and the celery seed, that's just going to help you out tremendously. And diet comes into play. As I mentioned earlier, just stay away from those grains, and the issues is gone in about 6 weeks.
Anthony?
Yes.
This is Bill's wife, Peggy.
Hey, Peggy.
Bill forgot to tell you that the doctor has told him for the last many years that he has the prostate of a 20-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that is amazing. And he's 74, right?
Yep.
Bill, join the club. I got an 85-year-old prostate that's in about the same state of affairs as yours.
The tonic is dynamite, and I just very happy with my health and just going to keep maintaining.
And Bill, tell the folks how long you've been drinking it, because a lot of people, once they start to feel a little better, they don't need it anymore.
Never stop taking it. You got to maintain it. I stopped taking the tonic because of finances and stuff, but boy, I'll tell you what, just like Lenny says, that's just like a meal, and really, really keep taking the tonic as food. It is food. But I've been taking it since 2000. I think we got with Lenny in 2000, and I've been taking it ever since.
Well, that's it, 20 years, and that's why your prostate is 20 years younger and all the rest of you.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just really appreciate how you put the diagnosis emphasis on the herbs, Dr. Whitaker.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. I figured people probably would benefit and appreciate that when you consume the tonic, this is what it's doing for you. And like I said, and there's so much more that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
And the emphasis you put on the poison in the shots, we have stayed completely away from it because we know what the pharmacies are doing.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love music to my ears.
Yeah, we knew better than to keep those shots.
That's good. Yeah. I think I told everybody in 2020 before everything really kicked into gear, that demon, Tony Fauci, would be behind all of it. You see what he's trying to escape next month, talking about he's going to retire. And I'm just praying that he is unsuccessful during this so-called transition, and he should be publicly executed.
Well, they're going to give everybody immunity who caused all this and promoted it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They'll have a couple of scapegoats in there to throw it on, and the rest of the people will ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, probably you and me.
Yeah.
Anyone else in for Dr. Whitaker, folks?
This is Donna. Hi, everyone. Dr. Whitaker.
Yes, ma'am.
And Anthony, I can really understand you're considering that no one will be brought to justice about this. But I just want to put out a good, positive word that I think enough of us have awakened in the last, half dozen years or longer, and more all the time. And I really feel and pray that these people will be brought to justice ultimately, because we have awakened, and let's remember, it's a republic. It's a government of and by and for the people, and we're the people. So I just wanted to kind of share something like that. Okay?
Perfect. Fantastic.
Love it.
Thanks.
Hi,
and
Anthony.
Betty, you are there still?
I'm still here, and hi, Dr. Whitaker.
Hi, Miss Betty. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, thank you. I want to thank you very much for mentioning my brother and his passing. And Anthony knows that for many, many years now, because he's been part of the conversation, I tried everything in the world to get my brother to take the JC Tonic. And unfortunately, I never had the chance. The doctors were always first and foremost, and I could see over the years, how things were going. And I knew that in the end, if I wasn't able to get him on the tonic, there really was no hope. And unfortunately, I just lost him. But I just want to tell people, I've been really fortunate to get a lot of people on the tonic. And one reason is because I never gave up. I wasn't able to convince my brother Bill after all these years to get on the tonic. And I know he's in a better place. But I just want to tell people, don't give up. If I hadn't tried, I never would have forgiven myself. I know I tried my best. So many people need the tonic, and if we give up, after them saying, I'm not interested once or twice, then, we will lose a lot more people. So, I lost him, but I did try.
But then again, you saved a lot of other people, Betty.
Yeah, I did, and I was here for a reason, and I still am, and I'll still try my best, with others. But people do say no, and it's something that we have to accept. They don't always want to hear it at the time, or some reason it's just not going to work. But just don't give up. We have to do our very, very best. And as long as we know we've done our best, then we can at least live with the consequences. Thank you for all your help and all your support and all your love. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
No problem. There for you.
Well, folks, what do you think? Anybody else for another question before we make it an evening?
Just thank you, Anthony, and all who promoted the tonic.
Well, thank you, Bill, for being such a faithful JC Tonic fellow, and I'm glad to see that it worked for you and is working. And look, if you have type 1 diabetes, it is what it is. But let's talk about that young prostate you got. And the rest of your organs and glands and insides are in the same condition as the prostate. So we'll be seeing you for a few more years still. So, Doc Whitaker, what do you say for a close? How do you think we should handle all our friends?
Well, in my older age now, I'm one where I just give information and I keep moving, because in my early years, I would give information, and if I didn't get a response or I didn't see any type of action coming behind it from that person, I would get frustrated, and it would bother me. It would affect my health. And so I've learned through the years that my duty on earth was to just give the information and just to keep moving. And those who want the help, I help them. And those who don't, then you just have to just simmer in your own soup. It's kind of harsh, but I mean, it really is. I get emotionally attached, and if I don't get a positive feedback, it really bothers me. So I have to back up. So you do the same with your friends and family. Family is always going to be the hardest. I don't know what it is with family being the hardest to receive your information, but you can find a stranger off the street, talk to them, and they'd be right there with you. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the word. Avoid all noise that comes from the corporate controlled news. Keep eating good. Take your tonic, rest, fast, exercise, meditation, be around positive people, and be the best person you can be.
So look, what you're telling us is that stay away from the family and talk to strangers.
Sometimes it's like that.
I have a family member who I tried for 30 years to get her to drink it, and she says, "Oh, Anthony," and she's an RN and in all that whole medical soup thing. And I hadn't seen her for a number of years, and I saw her 2 years ago, and she looked at me and she said, almost before she hugged me and said hello, she said, "Are you still drinking that stuff?" I said, "I sure am." She says, "Let me tell you, if you look like you look at 84, I want to start drinking it." And she started drinking it. She's 70 years old. But so never give up. Never give up.
Never give up.
So she saw the youth solution in me. She could not see inside me, but she could tell by the outside that the insides must be in pretty good shape. And that, of course, is the key. If you look good outside, believe me, it's because it's working good inside.
You better believe it.
And on that note, Dr. Whitaker, I thank you very, very much. Everyone that came to the call and asked a question, I'm glad they did. I look forward to having you again, but we are all looking forward more to reading your new book, so get it out. And in the meantime, we hope we'll be able to get you back to this call in the new year and give us an update on some of the things that are happening. And of course, the overview that you gave with the herbs is just spot on. It was just perfect. It's exactly as a couple of people mentioned what everyone needs to hear. So it reinforces their belief system that when they drink this, that's what happens.
I appreciate you having me on. And we can't go another 2 years, so we got to make it sooner.
Okay, we're going to do it sooner.
Got Whitaker's email address again?
dr.whitaker, that's dr.whitaker, WHITAKER, at Hotmail.
Okay, thank you so much.
If you lost it, call home office. We'll give you that again and the name of the book and so on. Okay, folks, on that note, the only thing we still have to say is don't forget, you take an ounce and feel the bounce. So good night for now. Thanks, Dr. Whitaker. Thanks for everybody being here, and we will see you on the next call. And this one will be mailed out to you, so please share it with everybody that you know, the strangers and the family, and spread the word. And hope we can save a bunch more lives. Thanks, Dr. Whitaker.
Thank you.
All right, good night for now, and until next time.
Urac Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and/or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Urac Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.